Ben Ward, Fit Bike Co here. Today I want to talk to you about our new Indent crankset. Features a 24 millimeter spindle. Technically it's 23.8. It allows you to slide a standard 15/16 bore sprocket right onto the spindle, and you don't need any kind of an adapter, any kind of spacer. People might be wondering, whoa, 24 millimeter spindle, that's crazy. Why do we need it? It was just another way to gain a lot of strength in a crankset without adding a lot of weight to it. This crankset features our indent arms that we've used on our past 19 millimeter crankset. They've held up great. We've had tons of good feedback about them. People loved them. So we knew if we were going to update the cranks, we couldn't do away with a feature that people really liked. The arm does get beefed up a little bit to accept the 24 millimeter spindle. So we do get a beefier arm with a beefier super hollow spindle. The new crank bolts are 6 and 8 millimeter drive, so it gives you a few options if you're in a pinch and you tighten your cranks up. The best part, I don't know, right now is that you can put this crankset on your bike and it's the same weight as our 19 millimeter crankset. Comes in just under 31 ounces. For a crankset, that's not too bad. Super reliable. We've had some of our gnarliest guys testing it, and whereas the first week of riding they would usually twist a 19 millimeter spindle, on these ones they're still running true and straight, and to this day they're still on them. But a couple of them are going to be switching out because we are now offering them in a 165 length, which all the new modern street guys that want to run 4 pegs and have size 13 feet, they don't want to hit their peg, you know, with the heel of their shoe. So they've been running the smaller cranks. Other advantages of the small crank sizes, they're a little bit stronger because there's less leverage. Your center of gravity is more centered because your feet are close together. People say it makes spins easier. It just makes balancing on the back wheel a little bit easier because your feet are close together. There's a lot of nice, neat advantages to gain from 165. You know, a lot of street guys just don't need that torque out there. So they like to run the shorter crank. Like I said before, cranks come in at about 30.85 for the 175 length. Finishes would be matte black, matte white, and chrome. Same crankset is left and right hand compatible with 2 sprocket bolt locations for the super duper micro drive if you want to go that way. Everyone keeps talking about the bottom bracket. Wondering if it's, you know, durable and if it can hold up. The insides, if you were to take the bearing apart, is the exact same insides that you would find in a 22 millimeter mid-bottom bracket. We did custom races to allow for the extra clearance you need for the new spindle. And so far through testing, I think until recently, Sean McIntosh ran his same bottom bracket out of pure not wanting to hammer out a bottom bracket with no problems. And then when he put his newest bike together, he finally swapped out his bearings, and the old ones are still super good and probably in his toolbox for later. Hopefully that got everything you need. Check the cranks out with more information at fitbikeco.com. The retail on the cranks will be $169.99, and they include the mid-bottom bracket, so that's a pretty awesome deal. And then replacement bearings for those concerned will be available on the website in our online store for $9.99. And the mid-BB alone, available separately, is $29.99. So hopefully you got everything here, and thanks for visiting RideBMX.